Going on.
All right, everyone, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, as we always do, we just want to thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. Again, thank you all for the support. Also, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Again, go to dynastymirror.com. While you're there, buy some merchandise. The classic Sales Motivation 101. Get off your butt and cold call. Make sure you go grab a copy. Also, like, share, and subscribe to the content. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the content. It really means a lot. Then become a Patreon. Patreon.com, search for Huru. Patreon.com, search for Huru. And without further ado, we have Brother Fitzgerald Stevens on with us. And
Good
today's topic,
afternoon, everyone.
today's topic is 4 things first-time entrepreneurs need to know about getting started. Now, for sure, we'll start with you know, now you've been an entrepreneur. I would say, when I met you, you had your Atlanta Auto and Tire. Which I'm guessing was your first experience or entrepreneur being an entrepreneur. Am I
Uh,
right or wrong?
I would say you were right. The first entrepreneur experience doing it right. Building taxes. That first. That was yeah. I guess you're absolutely right. Far as with that, I mean, I hear a lot of people sometimes, hey, I'm in business, and you're like, okay, well, show me your business license. What,
Right. Are you even incorporated? Yeah, I got you.
man. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, man. I'm a
Right, right.
businessman. Well, dude, you have a business. You should have a physical address. You should have listings. You should have a place where people can come. You should have product search. You have distribution centers and stuff like that. That's a business. No, to me. A legitimate business. So that's what I did acquire back in 2007. 2007, so I physically had that. Physically, I
Hold
had
on.
skin
So,
in the
so the
game.
year
So
I met
yeah.
you, so the year I met you, that's when you acquired the business. I met you in 2007.
hmm No, no, 2007. Yeah, exactly. Our friendship kicked off right then. You're absolutely
Hmm.
right. And so I had just acquired the business, and and I was looking to grow that, looking to develop that. Along comes you walked in, trying to do business with me, and I just liked how you presented yourself. I like how you went after it. On a little sidebar, ladies and gentlemen. That's an important topic. You know, when you ever want to really learn how to do something, ask someone who's doing it. But when you ask someone who's doing it, uh, they don't have a lot of people asking them. You know why? Because somehow those guys feel that I don't want to ask so and so Prince Amir, how did he start a YouTube channel? I don't want to ask Fitzgerald, Mr. Fitzgerald, what did he do to start his first business? How did he exactly go out? What's the structure? We rarely get those questions. How did you do what you do? People see the end product and they think, poof, someone just waved the magic line, and all of a sudden there they are. They're this great, successful networker, like maybe a Mr. Michael Delco, Mr. Tyrone Bass. So they're this great real estate guru, like a Mr. Grant Cardone, or they're this great television broadcaster like Miss Oprah Winfrey. But it rarely do people sit down and pick their brain and say, "Hey, what did you do? How did you get there?" I would, Mr. Mir, I would love to buy you a lunch or a cup of coffee. Can I get 15 minutes of your time, just to see how you did what you did? And believe it or not, those people, business owners respect that. You know why? Because they like, I remember when I just first started out. I wish somebody would have asked me. I wish I would have had someone to go to ask for that advice. So don't never be afraid to approach a successful person. And what do I define success? There's somewhere where you're not. There's somewhere where you would like to be. often they will be quite honored and glad to share their time and their knowledge exactly how they have achieved what they have done. So that's a very, very important thing, because you have to have mentorship. You have to have someone to guide you through the ropes. You have to have someone that who's been where you're going and can already have walked that path. And it can help save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration and a lot of money, may I add. So that's a sidebar from the day.
Well, actually, Fitzgerald, that was kind of point number one: find mentors. But Fitzgerald, so you acquired this business in 2007. Why did the original owner want to sell? Did he?
Wasn't making money.
Okay.
Wasn't making enough money. Being my naivety, I didn't know. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the fact that it was a money pit. It looked successful, but it was not profitable. Now they could say it was, but it wasn't. Maybe but if it had maybe about a 20, 25, 27% profit margin, is doing pretty good. But you got to factor in everything else. You have to factor in building costs, rent costs. You have to factor in utilities, employees, supplies, tool bills, all those things. Those things can really, really eat your profit up. And if I had to do it all over again, that business I would not have chose. I would not have chose the automotive business. I was too undercapitalized, and it was just too cost prohibitive for the starting out of your first business. I would have done, like, if I had to do a business, I would have started like a janitorial business, which I did. That was my second business. I used to run a company called Clean and Clear Windows and Blinds, and I was specialized in cleaning windows. I can clean. I could do cleaning like, oh man. But just say I'm extraordinarily good at cleaning personally. Okay. I mean, I just know how to clean. I just don't like any type of dirt, don't like any type of crazy smells. Just know how to put things together. Would have been a great interior decorator, one of those type of things. But so that was a business that I knew. That was a business that I could go into other people's place of business. So I really didn't have to keep overhead. I used to run my second business, Dynas, out of my home down in McDonough, right. And and I had good margins in that. I would have it's interesting that we're talking about these things right now. I heard Bill Gates say that if he had to do it over again, Bill Gates actually said if he had to do it over again, he would get involved in network marketing. Now, I'm not trying to say that just to get you guys to to listen to what we're doing, because it made so much sense to what you're trying to accomplish in business. Remember, the number one goal with business is to make a profit. Well, networking is relatively inexpensive to join. You're already part of a system that you get free support. You already have a company who does all the distribution for you, has already the marketing channels. There's all those stuff that you don't have to pay out of your own pocket. Right. Depending on what the goods and services that you're marketing, you have an uncapped income potential. And so literally you're running a business within a business that you own and that you control. That you can decide what territories you want to work at, just like a business, just like a regular business. And plus you have all the tax breaks that are afforded to you by having your own home-based business. So just something to really look at. There are plenty non-traditional ways to acquire a business. You don't necessarily have to go to a bank and put down for a plot of land and have a plant to manufacture your widget, or have a fleet of trucks and create your own distribution channel and pay oogles amount to employees and payroll taxes and uniforms and utilities. You don't have to do that. You can literally with referral based businesses have a global business that you're the only employee. You run out the comfort of your home, and you have all the perks of big business without many of the hassles that come with it. What I found, and keep in mind, this is the guy, this guy who's had a couple of businesses, who's been an employee, who has come to that conclusion, that you much rather, if you don't have necessarily money to start something, you might want to get a part of a system that's already built and build within that system.
Right.
At least until you can acquire enough capital on your own to start something of your own. If that's what you want to do.
Let me ask you this, Fitzgerald. So you had Atlanta Tire and Auto. Do you think you would have done better if you would have turned into like a Firestone franchise or a Midas franchise? Well, Midas does brakes, like a Firestone franchise or whatnot. Like, what do you think?
Possibly, you would have had the big corporate sponsorship, and when the corporate sponsorship came in that type of business, they were mostly concerned about giving you their marketing materials. Nevertheless, you go out there and build it. I tell you exactly where I went wrong. I hitched my business career on a maybe. Where right when I was first starting my business, there was a exclusive nightclub literally across the street.
Compound.
It was called a Compound, and it was one of the most exclusive high-end club in the whole city of Atlanta.
I've been there.
It was sort of like what was that club up there in New York, man? That was real known for
Studio 54.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't have any parking. Guess who supplied the parking for them?
You did.
Me. There were some nights. I'm not going to let you guys know the figures that my parking lot company was making, and I was dependent upon that revenue. And so when I got ready, when I decided I was going to purchase this company, I factored that into to the deal. Because I knew that would be exclusively mine. So I created my own parking company, and so that business, when I acquired it, they decided they're going to go on the renovations for like 6 months. That revenue stopped. That revenue stopped. It came to a screeching halt. I should have never have factored in that revenue to start my business. But once again, I was younger and inexperienced, which was really, really spoke to me. I didn't have a mentor to help me in that particular business. And I lost. Wind up having to get out of that business. And it taught me some valuable things. Number one, never become involved in a business that you don't know.
Right.
I am not a mechanic. I don't know how to fix Audis or Porsches. I'm the guy that can put people together to do it. I'm like the brains behind the deal. I can put systems in. I can see where things. I know how to draw customers. I know how to market, but I can't physically do the work. Okay, that's a problem. So you don't want to get involved in something that you really don't know that business. I was the marketing manager, and I brought a lot of the business in prior to that business before owning it. But I wasn't the businessman. I didn't know how to run that particular organization, and it cost me dearly. Now with janitorial business, I knew that. I knew how to bill. I knew how to clean. No one on my staff could clean better than me. No one. And often I would be right there involved with the cleaning process myself. Okay, that's the first one I should have acquired. Now, taking that lesson and learning what I learned from that experience, it was relatively not that difficult to build a global Carrot Bar business. Okay. Number one, I know people. I know what motivate people. I know that if I have a great product and service, I know how to get it out. Hey son, how you doing? And I understand how to build structures business, and I knew I had great support with this business. So it was, so little wonder I have been successful as far as with building a global Carrot Bar team, all over the world, and it's still expanding. And so, and I'm still learning this business, but believe me, after going on almost 6 years, I know what works in this business and what don't. For example, if you don't avail yourself to the training, you're going to fail. If you don't avail yourself to personal self-development, you're going to fail. If you don't keep abreast on ever expanding into other markets and building your team and building your and collecting your assets, you're going to fail, or at least you're not going to get to success you want.
Hey, Fitzgerald, let me get him set up on his laptop real quick. You can keep going. Just give me like a minute.
Yeah, I'll easily do that. So when you look at things that keeps you far from business, okay, we can look at a couple. Number one is you have to understand the business that you want to go into. That's very, very vital. You have to understand it. Now, you may not necessarily have to be able to physically do the work, but you do have to understand the business. You have to understand the business that you're a part of. Because if you don't, how will you know if you're proper billing? How will you know if you're not overpaying for labor and goods and services? How will you know when it's time to pull out a market? How will you know when it's time to enter a market? How would you know that have a grip on what's your margins? I mean, the money that you spend for your products and the money you sell it for in the middle, that's your margins. How do you know what proper margins are? How do you know how to motivate your personnel? How do you know how to get them on your page and put everyone together working towards one vision? Okay, number two, if you don't, once you find out what you have to avail yourself to mentorship. You have to have someone that's like a guide or counselor to you that has been to where you're trying to go, and they can literally counsel you on the pitfalls or the benefits of growing that business and how to do it. So they can really cut a lot of your time down, and especially a lot of your money waste down by simply availing with you. Let me also be emphatically clear. Inexperience costs you in business. For every time you say, oops, it's going to be a dollar value attached to it. Oops, okay, it's going to cost you. Oops, okay, that's more money. So you don't in business, you only get so many oops before you're out of business. And so you have to understand that. So you have to avail yourself to a mentorship. Like companies, they have what's called board of directors, and those board of directors can come from various fields. Usually they are they do have a business background. Often counsel the owner or the president. And then they have the ability to approve or disapprove decisions based on the experience that they have gathered through their business life. That is this a right decision for the company, in the right direction for the company to go in? Would this decision derail us? Would this decision help us expand? Would this increase revenue, take revenue away? Would this set us up for legalities down the road that could cost us revenue? So they're what you call a mastermind. They think of them like a mastermind team or like a mastermind team. And wise leaders avail themselves to the counselor or that board of directors. Well, you need something like that. I don't care if you're just starting out, you need someone or a group that, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And if you're going to get those people, they have to be qualified as far as within business. For example, myself, I run a business within a business with Carrot Bars, and I have aspirations of starting other outside ventures, from the wealth stream that I built from Carrot Bars, and I'll do that. Well, I have three men in general who I would like to be on my board of directors. My two younger brothers and my best friend for about 35 years, Jim Zigmont. Okay, now hear me real cool with this when I get ready to say it. they all are qualified for a specific role. Okay. My middle brother is a senior budget director. He deals with finances, the yin yang. He knows how to read numbers and spreadsheets, all that stuff. He knows if something's good financially or if it's not good financially. He can evaluate that. Okay. Happens to be my blood brother. Notice the three sons. So happens to be that. So I know he has my interest in. I know I can trust him. I know that he will very, very much look after the interests of that. The youngest one is a corporate attorney. Case I have any legalness, contracts, or the big print gives, the small print takes away. Well, I can run that by him, and I can't get myself jammed up in necessarily a bad deal because he will be on the board and he will be my personal attorney and he's my brother. So I have two men who automatically fit the bill that A, I can trust them, B, they're knowledgeable in far as what I need. The final one, third one would be Mr. James Zigma. Mr. Zigma and I have been knowing each other ever since we were 18 to 19 years old. We met at college. He runs a very successful computer networking firm, IT. Knows everything, the odds and ends about computers, about networking, about putting systems together. As far as that, so I would have that plan covered. So I just put in three key areas. We have fiscal and fiscal and finances with Preston. We have legal human resources with Michael, and we have IT and marketing service with Jim. Men who the minimum I've been knowing, I have been knowing one of those guys is close to 36 years. My two brothers, okay, well, hey, 53 years for one, 48 years for another. But it's not, they're not going to say they're my guys. They're qualified to do what I need them to do. And if you're going to select the board, that's what you need. They need to have qualifications and expertise and to get to do what you need them to do. So the mentorship is very, very important, having that accountability. Number three, and Prince Amir is going to have some different ones for this. I'm just talking about what I personally. But number three, you have to have in traditional business, you have to have liquidity. In other words, you have to have a certain amount of marketing capital. Not marketing capital. I'm sorry, financial capital. One of the things that led to my demise is because I didn't understand finances, Dinaz. When I had my business, I could have attained a line of credit. I didn't know what lines of credit were. I assumed it was debt. I have busted my butt and worked so hard to get out of it.
It's not sorry to cut you off. Back when you had Atlanta Tire and Auto, the SBA, they were giving away money.
Yes, they were.
They were just.
Yes, they were. And let me tell you, the decision I made that put a huge nail in my business failure. I saw line of credit as debt. I had worked so hard to attain to repair my credit, and it paid a price to do that. And so when they offered the money like that, I said, no, I'm cool. So I didn't take a line of credit. Had I would have had a line of credit, I'd still be in business. Now I could have got a like $25,000, $30,000 line of credit. Didn't necessarily have to spend it, but I had reserves in case something went wrong. If something did go wrong, that was back when the 2008 financial debacle that happened. Where I bought the business 2007, the 2008 financial debacle happened. People were holding their money, and they wasn't spending. But the banks were collapsing. So now I couldn't go back to the banks to get that line of credit because they was holding everything.
My friend who had a business, he had a clothing line. I want to say he all he turned in was a business plan. I want to say the SBA gave him almost $100,000.
Yeah, exactly. But he knew about that. I didn't, Dinaz. That was the thing. Now you look at it's a vast difference between the man of 2007 and the man of 2020 that you're talking to now. I'm more experienced and stuff like that. So those are a couple things that led to it. So you have to have liquidity. In other words, you have to be able to put your hands on some resources to hold you over until that business starts growing. Okay. And then the final thing I'd say, you have to have the proper personnel in place. You have to have the proper personnel, and you have to have the ability to really rid yourself of non-producing personnel. They work for you. And if you expect a return on what you're paying them, if they don't properly give you that return, you can't afford to keep them. I used to tell my employees, listen, I don't fire you, you fire yourself. I run a business. I'm not your buddy. I really run a business where you could go out and find another job. I have everything tied up in this. I have to go find another home. I have to, do a whole lot of things. It's big cost for me. Well, I dropped that code, or rather, I didn't know that code like I do now. And I was a little lenient. I was, almost like a buddies. You can't do that. Officers do not patronize with privates, and that's a military thing. They don't do it, and there's a reason for that. And so all that prepared me to build a successful referral-based business through Carrot Bars. Carrot Bars gave me everything that I needed to succeed business-wise without any of the hassles. Number one, we already had a well-established product, gold. Okay, everyone knows about gold. Gold is money. I found out exactly how much is money when I became involved with this program. Okay, and then I also had a chance to create residual income. What is residual income? Income that you earn without you physically having to put the labor in it. Well, I somewhat understood that because I had employees already working for me, so I know that I was receiving a percentage of their labor to help build my wealth. Okay, and but residual income is a whole nother different things. Residual income, but even when I'm not working, I was still receiving income. Okay, for example, my shop was open about between like 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock Monday through Friday. Okay, and sometimes I even open on Saturday, so I had to make a business decision that Saturday was not profitable to me, so I closed that down. Okay, so as long as someone was turning wrenches and repairing cars and servicing the customer, when they paid us, I got paid. Okay, now the same concept works with Carrot Bars. I tell other people, help set them up in business, or you tell other people, help set them up business. They decide to open up their gold savings account at no cost to them, no cost to you. But as they start expanding their business and building their network, you get a percentage of that. Right. You get paid to build people's household wealth. The time they acquire gold or any other products and services, you get a percentage of that. Now, I was working with 3 employees, okay, within that business. $4,000 a month for the rent. $5,000 a month for the bank loan. Before I even made one single thing, I had to come up with $9,000 a month. Or if you want to divide that by 4 weeks, you get your figure right there. That's before I did anything. Uniforms, utilities, trash disposal, waste disposal, tool bills. All these things were leeching money. So in order to have that business profitable, I had to be in the neighborhood of $25,000 to $30,000 a month. Right off the bat, every single month. Plus, I still had a household to take care of. Okay, that my wife and I were living in. So you see the position at 3 employees, and sometimes I didn't hit those numbers. When I didn't hit those numbers, remember I told you I turned down the line of credit. So guess what I had to do? I had to put my personal stuff up out of my pockets and my funds to pay for it. Okay. And so you can only keep that up so long. So compare that with Carrot Bars. You have a global business, not a business that I just confined to 1055 Brady Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, 36018. Not that. I could go around the Howell Mill, the North Side Drive, the downtown area where CNN was and where the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, maybe a little north of Morris Mill, but really majority of my customers came from a radius of like less than 8 miles, or less than 10 miles.
Yeah, convenience.
That's where they came from. They wasn't going to come. They wasn't going to come any further than that. So compare that to a business right now with Carrot Bars. Deal with gold. That I don't have to keep stored. I don't have to keep gold stored down here in Tampa to send out to people. I don't have to ship it out to you. The company does that. They do all that. All I do is build my own network within their network. Okay. I tell other people, but the other people I tell, they are located in 149 countries around the world. I build a global business by helping them establish themselves by a cell phone. My cell phone bill for 2 lines is less than $100. Unlimited calls, including WhatsApp that I have on there. So I have my cell phone bill. Incidentally, I can write that off because that's a business expense when I use it for business. I don't have to pay the $4,000 a month for a building. I don't have to pay the $5,000 a month for a bank loan. I didn't have to get those things for that. I don't have any of that. Because I have no employees. Now, three people who work for me, about 12,000 people within my Carrot Bars global organization who work with me. Right. They don't work for me. No one works for me anymore. They work with me. Each and every time they decide to build their wealth by acquiring gold, acquiring packages, building wealth for them and their family. Guess who gets a percentage? That simply because they're in your network. Okay. Mentorship. Remember I told you about that?
Right.
Mentorship. Well, we have a mentor by the name of Mr. Ty and Valerie Best, who created a company called Wealth Builders Worldwide that gives you all the free mentorship. Remember, it's stuff like it's like sitting down with them. Well, we do all that online. Mr. Michael Delco, Mr. Willie and Mrs. Sherry Brown, Miss Tanisha Glaspie, Mr. Rodney Roach, Mr. William Bibb, Mr. Rodney and Sydney Berger. These are people that train you and teach you for free how to build a global profitable business for free. Okay. Now you still have you still have the benefit of creating your own business, and don't confuse just because it's home business as it's a small business. Don't we have people literally doing 6 figures a month in this business. Mm-hmm. 25, 30,000 a week in this business. And we have people making nothing in this business because it's what you decide to go out and create. That's month after month after month. Okay, building a business. Now you have a global business that you run from a cell phone that you could have all the tax perks of a home-based business. And let me tell you why you want to have those tax perks, because you are greatly going to reduce your expenses. You're greatly going to reduce your expenses. Let me back up. Not necessarily expenses. You're going to greatly reduce your tax liability. You're going to bring more money home for you and your family, simply because you have the tax deductions that people without a business don't have. Okay. And finally, you guys see that precious little child that walked there and gave us a guest appearance. He had his back turned to us because he's concerned about getting his computer network going and everything like that. Well, that is our host beneficiary. That's his son. Nice. This business allows him to literally leave the wealth that he has created through this business to his son. Well, I can do that with my pensions and all the things. No, you can't. No, you can't. I can do that necessarily with my job. Definitely you can't. I'm talking about the income stream that his father is working and producing right now that's growing, even while he's sitting there talking on this stream, he can leave that income stream to his beneficiary, his son, as well as his gold holdings and other assets that he has accumulated, without his son really even working the business if he doesn't want to. He could just inherit what his father has done. I was looking at richest heirs, and I was seeing like heirs like the Jobs, Stephen Jobs' daughters, worth about 20.
The Walton family.
Yeah, the Walton family. Well, and these are the heirs. They're talking about young people. Some are worth billions, hundreds of millions of dollars, simply because of work of what their parents done. Well, they're going to inherit that brand, and they're going to inherit that brand simply because what their parents done. No thing on them, no thing on them. They just have to be born in that family. Well, you can create a wealth stream that the beneficiaries will inherit simply because you're not here. Okay, very, very important. Now, I used an example yesterday, and we lost a great human being. Not necessarily a black man, a great human being. Happened to be black. That was Mr. Chadwick Boseman. Okay, Chadwick Boseman is known the world over, and will be known 100 years the world over for his phenomenal role as Black Panther. Black Panther gave young black men and young children and older black men and women and children an incredible sense of identity. It was credible that see something produced on that scale where black people were shown not as pimps or drug leaders or ballers or dysfunction, banging 20 wives, all that kind of foolishness. It's shown them as kings, inventors, scientists, war. That man was a huge reason why we view that movie in such a positive light. Okay, unfortunately he passed away, young man, 43 years old, fighting the illness. I don't even want to call it. Okay, now but he was quite an accomplished actor. Well, in the world of acting, when you are in acting, depending on how it's structured, you get what's called residuals. You've often heard me talk about it in music. Now, catch what I'm saying now. The man had no children. Okay, the man had no children, but he did have a wife. Okay, simply because of the work that he has done. And believe me, I don't think she'll ever want to trade that Boseman name in, because it's a great name. He made it like that. Right. Simply because of what he has done. Every time you see his image somewhere, every time someone would like to use one of his speeches that he recorded that as, they have to pay for that. They have to pay his estate for that. Guess who owns the estate? She does. So every time something is used like that, something is used with his image or his likeness on it, or his voice or whatever, she is going to get compensated. I don't remember seeing her there with Angela Bassett, Miss Nupo. I don't remember seeing her acting in any of the movies. Right. But yet, because she is the beneficiary of that estate, that's what you want to think leaving to your children. So that's what a business is ultimate for. That's what Karatbar does. Save a lot of gold, tell a lot of people, make a lot of money, build wealth. Now, we build wealth on the acquisition of gold. It has to be on the acquisition of goods and services. You acquire a business package. Why do you want to acquire a business package? Because it allows you to get paid. It allows you to receive income 4 additional times a month. You can make money within a free position. When I talk free position, I'm simply meaning just registering your account. Register your account, and all you do is just register your account. Maybe you get some gold for yourself. I wouldn't know why you would want to have a gold savings account without acquiring gold. But sometimes it's not good business to try to figure out the psychology of people at times. It can be frustrating rather. But let's just say you do that, okay? And you can receive a percentage based on the production of your overall group once a month. It won't be nowhere near with someone like Prince Amir and myself, or Mr. Delco, or Mr. Best, or Miss Glassby, or Mr. Bibb, or Mr. Willie and Sherry Brown, or it wouldn't be anywhere near what they will receive, because they have a business package. And because you have a business package, it allows you to receive income 4 additional times a month. If you really want to get creative, you can get your 2 business package, a personal account and a business account. I have that, so it puts me in a position to receive income 10 times a month, residual income based on the production of my team. Okay, well, you have 2 teams, a right team, a left team. It's set up on the binary. No matter how many people are a part of your global organization, they only come on your right or your left, your right team or your left team. Whether you have close to 12,000 like myself, whether you have close to 800,000 like Miss Shirley and Gober, whether you have close to 895,000 business partners like my sponsor, Mr. Michael Delco, whether you have over 100,000 business partners like our senior upline, Mr. Ty Best, doesn't make a difference. They're either going to come on your left team or your right team. And as they acquire, once you have a package, you are eligible what's called units. Well, what are units? Units are money within the Carrot Bars universe. In other words, every time someone purchases gold, purchases a package, purchases any of the specialty products through the system, there's a unit value attached to it based on what the product was purchased. Okay. Now, so when your team starts acquiring assets, and they acquire, and then through those acquiring those assets, 25 units on one team, 50 units on another team, you are going to receive what's called a dual team payout. Well, if you're a VIP, that's like the top level package holder that Prince Amir and I both have. Roughly, you can purchase that for either 3,450 euros or 4,900 euros. There are 2 levels. No, you're going to get a dual team payout every time, uploaded on your MasterCard of 80 euros every time that happens, like clockwork. Okay. If you happen to have a gold business package about 2,200 euros, 25 units on one team, 50 units on another team, you are going to receive a dual team payout of 60 euros. If you are a silver business package, 25 units on one team, 50 units on another team, you are going to receive a dual team payout of 50 euros. And if you are a VIP, a bronze, 25 units on one team, 50 units on another team, you are going to receive a dual team payout of 40 euros. So as you can see, the higher you are up in the packages, the higher the payout. Start where you want, start where you can. We suggest the silver, but start where you can. Start what's get you to. But the important thing is to get started. Okay. Each package will come with some gold, depending upon the package. And the packages are tax deductible, depending upon the country that you live in. So you can pretty much net that out, like in say like a country, United States, you can net that out as 0. So you wash, and it's a one-time cost. So you get to work. You don't have to get a bank loan to receive a package. You don't have to do anything like that. And so you are able to build your network. And there's a whole lot of other perks and payouts and bonuses that you can actually earn revenue in addition to the ones I just stated. But the important thing is just get started. You don't have to be so great that you don't have to be so great to start, but you'll never be great if you don't start. You won't achieve anything. You just want to do it, and you are rewarded on what you build. Now, the company is owned by Dr. Harold Seiss, a German gentleman located in Stuttgart, Germany. Remember what I said: if you don't really have the revenue and you don't really have the knowledge and understanding, and you want a business, you can also look at models such as this to build a business within the business. Now, Prince Amir and I have a plan that we have discussed a couple of times. We was even discussing today, and I'll let you in on it. Well, we plan on building a phenomenal income far as what we want to do with our business holdings. I have my number in my head, and let's just say if I say I want to build, I eventually want to get myself up to where I'm making $1 million a month residual income, which is actually my goal, and I'll hit it. Okay. Now I can take that money and I can invest it in real estate. I can invest it in properties. Maybe I want to buy an apartment complex in Accra, Ghana. Maybe I want to purchase something in Freetown, Sierra Leone, because I have an African plan I want to implement about 3 years from now. Maybe I want to acquire real estates here. Maybe I want to acquire other assets. Maybe I want to look at being an investor and maybe acquire the diversifying some stocks. But I'm a big real estate man. I like to physically touch my stuff. Gold, I can physically have in my hand. Real estate, I can physically walk on that grass. I like stuff like that. That's my investment strategy. And so I can do that with the income I'm earned on it, thus creating other income streams. That's me. But nevertheless, there won't be any of those other investments if you don't have revenue coming in. Right. And so this is what we do. Now we do this practically every day. Every day I'm working on my business. It's some self-development or picking up the phone. Now, it sounds like real easy. It's doable, but it's not easy. For example, there are rules of engagement. Once you register your account, and you elect to choose to get a business package, that's on you. Whatever you decide. Well, either way, you're going to have knowledge. You're going to have mentorship. You're going to have someone shows you how to navigate. Now, Prince Amir and I will get you plugged into Wealth Builders Worldwide. That's the free teaching. That's the teaching that's done online. It's going to show you exactly how to build. You have the luxury of giving us a phone call, and we can tell you how to navigate through your sites. But there's a teaching done every day, 12 to 9 p.m. that shows you it's for new affiliates that show you exactly how to build your network, how to go over your packages, how to build your organization, how to talk to people. Plus you have us to help you do that too. But we give you all that support. But what we don't give you is the desire and the willingness to go out there and build something great for you and your family. Because the thing with a business that you understand, the number one thing that you're looking to produce is income. I mean, I've heard so many people tell me, well, I just got in this business to have fun. Have fun. Right. See, the way my mind thinks, I don't process stuff like that. Have fun.
Hey, Fitzgerald, so when I was working at Centos, like the management would say, if somebody came in and was interviewing for a sales job, and if they were if they gave an answer as far as like, hey, why do you want this job? You know, why do you like sales? And if they said that if they responded because I'm a people person, the manager would say, well, go be a greeter at Walmart. They're people persons as well.
Right. What did the great Stephen Jobs say? If you want to make everyone happy, sell ice cream. No, you want to make everyone happy, sell ice cream. Well, what's my point? If you are in a business and you're not money centric, you're going to fail.
All right.
Fitzgerald, we want to take care of the customers. That's great. But the open thing is how can I be profitable? Because there's a certain money I have to make in order to pay my employees, to pay my suppliers, in order to keep this lights and open. So you have to think in that. When I was in sales, the number one thing they want to hear from you was not that you want to have fun. When they called you in to do your goal statement, and Prince Amir, you remember this, they weren't interested in what you want to do, where you want to have fun. They was like, tell me your income goals. How much money you want to make? Them cats were straight at you. You know, tell me your targets. What are you looking for? You want to get a house? How much is it?
Right.
How about, you want to get that car? Great. What is it? So they knew income drove the top producers. You know, I mean, I got, when I was in sales, man, I got jacked when I had a fat commission check. I was unjacked when you see how much tax they take out of it. You get unjacked real quick. But, when you're in the business, that's what you want to focus on, being profitable. Now, I'm not opposed to having fun. I'm not opposed to having people, but none of those things are going to happen if you're not profitable. So I focus on the bottom line. Maybe that's my mindset, the way I process things, being a Virgo male, it's like, it got to make sense to me, but the logic. I'm not really concerned about the feeling aspects of it. Give me the facts, give me the formula, what I need to do. Well, that type of thinking can be a detriment to this business. And let me explain. Because people are often not moved like that. They're moved on emotion. Like, hey, I just want to have fun. What do you mean you want to have fun? Well, I want to go to that. I want to go to that trip down in the Cayman Islands, and I want to turn 2 bottles up, and I want to be on a jet ski just with people on top of my head. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Show me pictures. Show me the image. I'm going somewhere here. So I would say, okay, great. How much do we need to make for you to get there? See, they're not thinking in terms of the money. They're thinking in terms of what they want to do with it. And so you have to talk to people like that. You have to talk to people. That's why you want to go down to dealerships. That's why I need to go look at the Audis or the Tesla, since I've been talking to Mr. Delco. Just look at stuff. That's why you need to take a drive out to some of these nice neighborhoods and go in there and look at a home that you would like. That's why you need to go to these open houses and walk through it and feel it and taste it, because that can fire you up more so than just the mundane numbers. I work on the numbers. I'm like, okay, how much do I need to make to acquire this? But I also can tell you, like, my biggest successes is when I reversed that. When I literally looked to get a house, I looked at the house on the internet and I put that image in my mind. 2 years later, I was walking in that home, had it built from the ground up. Okay.
You're talking about your home in Stockbridge, right?
No, it was in McDonough.
McDonough, right.
So I received the image while I was working at my job. I pulled it up on the internet because I decided I was going to get a home. I decided I didn't want to be in apartments anymore. I decided that I wanted a car. So I pulled the image up of a Toyota Avalon. Okay. 3 months later, I was driving it. See, that I painted the image as far as stuff like that. So you want to go to Africa? You want to go to free towns? You see yourself relocating out there? You see yourself owning something? Great. Put the pictures on the wall. You see yourself, you see yourself having a wraparound patio, a wraparound porch in your home, sitting on 5 acres, and your children and grandchildren out there playing, and no one's bothered them, and you got your cars or your trucks parked like you want. Great. Go visit the dealership. Go pull those images up. Now you got a target to work for. And that's where I kind of would advocate you guys to do. You gotta have something you're going after. It can't be necessarily like Fitzgerald does, like, okay, what's the numbers? What's this and stuff? That doesn't serve. That serves a very percentage of people. I could talk to Mr. Delco like that because he thinks like that. I could talk to Prince Amir like that, and because he thinks like that. But I should be talking to Mr. Amir like, hey man, okay, what are your income projections? Where are you going? What do you want to do? Okay, I know he wants to buy property. So rather than I know he wants to buy property in Nigeria, and I know he wants to ride in Sierra Leone. So I need to talk. Okay, man, show me the property that you want. Okay, you give me a picture of it, man. You got it? Well, I don't know what property I want. Well, you don't want it then. You should be able to pull out. I want this car. I want this house. You should be able to describe it so vividly. The better you can describe it, the more you can have it. And so that's when you concentrate on what you want, and then you'll build this business and you'll help other people build it. You just concentrate on what you want and get a clear picture of that. Now, is it anything wrong with the way a Fitzgerald would think or anyone think around that long? No, that works for me. But 12,000 other cats in my business. We all think alike. We have different tastes. We have different temperaments. Not necessarily in the way that I process things, but I need to talk to them. And what do you want? Let's show you how to get it. So that's another thing. We do a goal statement. And what are you doing this for? And that's what I asked you guys. Why are you listening here? You want to build a business. That I know. We know that practically everyone wants to be free to call their own time. Everyone wants to do that. But what do you want it for? Why are we building? If you call me 1-716-573-6296, 1-716-573-6296. This is my personal phone number. I was informed that I had this from Sprint since 2014. Okay. We talk. Ms. Fitzgerald, I saw you on the Prince Dynasamir. I've already registered my business. How do I get started? Before you ask me that and you call me, here's what I want you to say. Hey, Mr. Fitzgerald, I registered my business. This is what I want. Then we're going to show you how to get it as far as income wise. I'm going to plug you into the training. I'm going to give you mentorship and show you how to build this. And I'm going to teach you how to duplicate this where you don't necessarily always have to be at your business. So just a couple of tips that I've learned, as far as my soon to be 56 years walking on God's earth.
I would say your tips are better than the article.
No, I don't want to say that, Dynasamir.
I don't want to say that, right? But I mean, they were just as valuable as the article.
And yesterday we did something, and I want to, before I give my closing statement, which generally are the same 4 statements all the time, I want to look at a couple of comments right here. Okay, so let's look at something to stick out, and I think each and every one who has contributed. Okay, here's one, and if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, forgive me. Renato Gamares from Brazil. Great. We are actually in Brazil. Okay, você fala português? I know you do it. I asked him, does he speak Portuguese? I took his Portuguese class one time at the University of Alabama. So what I'm saying, we operate in Brazil. You can build a global business in Brazil. I can build a global business in Brazil. Being I don't even speak Portuguese, but Google Translator does. What you will want to do, and I see you're writing in English, so I have to assume that you know English. Okay, you will want to first of all register your account. There's no cost to it. You're registered by clicking onto the link that's strolling down there with Prince Dynasamir, or he's also going to put it onto this video. You want to know more? Go ahead and log on to the realmoney.info. Register your account. There's no cost for that. We operate all throughout Brazil and South America, and you can build a global business throughout Brazil, South America, here in the United States. You have 149 countries around the world. Give me a call. I have WhatsApp on my thing. I'll be happy to talk to you. And if your English is not that good, I promise you my Portuguese is not that good, but we can go ahead and cut and paste to Google Translate. I've done that. So it don't make a difference what country you're in to me. I understand that people want to make more income. They want to have a good life for their families, and that translates all over the world. So welcome, and we'll be happy to help you here. Now, the second question, Nicholas Kabai, and said he's from Kampala. If I'm not mistaken, Kampala is Uganda.
Kampala, yeah.
Kampala, is that Uganda? Mm-hmm. Great. We're in Uganda. No, I'm an affiliate down there. We can help you. Be happy to help you. I know English is a language down there, so that would be no problem. Great. Can show you how to build. It can show you how to build a team all over Africa and all over the world. Be happy to help you for free. Okay. The Shada Komora, I know you. It's good to see you. So definitely give me a call. I know exactly who you are. We're looking. Keep looking. Well, that's about it. That really much sticks about it. We're getting a few of the people making majority of the comments, but anyone can basically take their future in their hands. Now, this is something that I've said a couple of times, and I really believe with everything in me. Although people are focusing on how bad it is with the corona, how bad it is with the global economies, the great men and women we've lost this year, starting with Kobe Bryant, Mr. Bozeman, and and the great John Thompson of the Georgetown Hoes. We just lost him today, and many people we lost in many events. Okay, but I personally, where I am right now, think this is the best opportunity to build wealth in the history of the world. I really do, provided you're in the proper channels. Now, there is more opportunity because people are afraid out there, and people are, what are we going to do? But this thing is really forcing the entrepreneur to come out of people. And what do I mean by the entrepreneur? You and I, we get out that we decide to go out and create our living through vehicles like this. Now Prince Amir and I are very adamant about this. Do something. Do something. I mean, the time for standing still is over. Just like the time for the time for being silent with a lot of these with a lot of this police brutality and discrimination towards Black people, not only in the United States, all the world. It's long time to stop being silent. Like, one thing that pops out for with the gentleman from Brazil. Brazil has worse race problems than here in the United States. No, horrific race problems. So much so, I used to want to go to Brazil one time. Like, nah, I'm cool. And they got a big problem down there, and so the time for being silent is over. The time for not starting your own business, not building something where you that can benefit you and your family. The time for not being an entrepreneur is over. Prince Amir has said it eloquently, and he's maybe it sounds a little harsh to some people, but I don't think I understood his meaning quite well. You're about to build business, be an entrepreneur. You're just going to go out of business. You're just going to be extinct. Right. You're everything you work for and everything you're hoping to build is going to be at jeopardy if you don't have your own platform. That's just the low of it. No, because these jobs are doing just what these jobs are doing. I mean, and they're going to continue to do it. We see the wealth gap, it just multiplying, expanding. The gap is so wide between the rich and the poor now, you can't even see the other side. Right. And many of those, and the billionaires have become so much wealthier since March until now because of this virus. In other words, it hasn't been bad for them. Hasn't been bad from Jeff Bezos going up like 139 billion in March to 200 billion now. Hasn't been bad for Mr. Elon Musk, about 37 billion to over 100 billion now. Mark Zuckerberg, same type of numbers. So someone is making money out there, but they're all entrepreneurs and they have their own business. So in my closing statement, Warren Buffett has said, and before I say that, one of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett made a decision less than 3 weeks ago to divest from his bank holdings of Goldman Sachs. He picked up the Goldman Sachs stocks on a fire sale in 2011. They was really hurting. He had the cash to give them, and they gave him some. He in exchange for some sweet Goldman Sachs shares that they were practically pleading with him to give them back to him because he's making that much money off of them, and he held them up until about 3 weeks ago. He with J.P. Morgan Chase held nice good holdings there. He divested from that from the paper money, and he went and put that money into a company called Barrick Gold, based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I think about 23.7 million shares of Barrick Gold. So, other words, he did exactly what we advocate in our carrot bars. He exchanged his declining paper dollars for gold that's going up. Now, this is a billionaire to do that. So we have to watch what the wealthy do. if we want to have what the wealth they have. And so I quote that same man. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, Mr. Warren Buffett would say, you are literally going to work until you die. Mr. Michael Delco, if you don't come from a wealthy family needs to come from you. Mr. Prince Dinas Amir, titles are not sexy, income is. And Mr. Fitzgerald Stevens, if you don't make moves, moves will be made on you. You know the empowering as well as the fearful thing about what we're saying to you today. Your future is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. So some people like, wow, man, I can really get out there. I can go out there instead of work for the man. I can be the man of the woman. I can build something. Then other people like saying, oh man, you mean to tell me I got to get out there and take a chance on doing something like that? Dude, you taking a chance by sitting still. You taking a chance by not taking a chance. You don't think tomorrow is not guaranteed to you. If anything, I learned, I was talking to a friend yesterday and we was talking about the Mr. Bozeman deal. He's only 43 years old. Maybe he thought he had many tomorrows or more than what he had, but before he was stricken with this incredible, with this demon disease there. You don't have time. That's the biggest mistake that a man or a woman can make, to think that you have a lot of time. You have to get busy building your future now. You don't know how many days the God Almighty has given you on his earth. Get busy now. Slay this thing of procrastination. Get involved with winners, people who are building wealth, people who are going to show you how to build wealth. If it's not this, do something. We're not so naive that we think that everyone's going to jump with this. We will like everyone, but we don't believe that. But do something. Build you a residual income that's independent from your job. Build you a hustle or a business that's independent from your job. Figure out a way to leave financial prosperity to your descendants in the event of your death. As my precious mother has drilled in my head, and she would tell me to this very day. Incidentally, I need to call her today. We did not come here to stay. Fitzgerald, we did not come here to stay. Well, sometimes she'd call me by my pet name, Johnny. We did not come here to stay. No. And she's right. So you have to get busy with the business of living your life. Okay, if you're afraid, let's talk about it. What do you really have to be afraid of? Let's talk about it. I'm not going to minimize fear, man. I've had it, but you have to overcome it if you're going to ever achieve anything. And we'll walk right beside. The biggest thing about being afraid, you don't know what to do, or you don't have any support. Well, we already eliminated that. No, and that's what we want to do now. So go ahead and register your account. Give me a call, please. I'll be happy to help you. Prince Amir's already posted my number on the stream, knowing him. Please don't call me if you have not registered. Fitzgerald, that's kind of cruel. What if I have questions? TheRealMoney.info. Okay. Why you say don't call me if you haven't registered? Simple. I'm working with too many of my team members. I got to devote that time to them. Now, if you're registered, we help you and we get your business package and we show you how to duplicate we show you how you can earn your money back relatively for a short period of time, what you spent for your package. We tell you those things, but Dinas and I are trying to get in beast mode. Right. I mean, we're trying to, ensure a future, because you know what? Each and every time things happen, and in 2020, it doesn't shock you into like, good God, man, nothing is sure. I mean, people just going off the rip, stuff. I mean, we're dealing with hurricane effects down here in Florida, which is big, the central hurricane state of the union and stuff. Well,
I think 2 more storms are on its way.
We're dealing with that. We're dealing with Corona. We're dealing with all kinds of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, someone has to build something, and we're here to help you. And so this is not a pep talk. This is a live talk. No, I don't. try to motivate. I do. I do. I'm not so naive to think that my words don't have power. You know, God has given me that gift, and I'm not going to discount it. But what we're trying to do is get you in a place where you want to be financially. And it's going to require works, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're really here to work with you. You have to have someone accountable. On my final thing, and that's another thing, you know, about building the four laws of business. You have to have accountability. Well, I'm 56, September 8th. Prince Dynasmere is much younger than me. In this business, I'm accountable to him. Okay, why? I may fall off. I may get sloppy. I may get lazy. Prince Dynasmere, without him, my YouTube channel, Find Ways to Win, would not be working, would not be up. Without Michael Stevens, my YouTube channel, Find Ways to Win, would not be up. Oh, I'm good at appearing on other people's channel. I'm good at doing that. But I have something to say too. Because of Prince Dynasmere pushed me into that, my channel is up right now, Find Ways to Win. And I talk about that's the whole mantra, right? Find ways to win. Because there always is a way to win. We have to just find it. So without Prince Amir, and thank you very much, I wouldn't have done that. Excuse me. I wouldn't have done that. And so I'm accountable to him. He's accountable to me. We speak every day talking about this business. Who can we help? Who is doing so-and-so? Who do we get behind? Mr. DeMarco, Miss Callie, Miss Tara, Miss Tanya, Mr. Curtis, Mr. Marcus. Who do we get behind? Who do we need to get behind? Who do we need to call? Who do we need to talk to? Or you can feel free to call us. And that's what it do. So find accountability. Find someone who's not going to let you rest. Find someone who's going to get in your face and tell you the truth. Find someone who's not going to put up with your excuses. Well, I'm tired today. Well, you're going to be more tired broke. Okay. Right. And you want to be tired, get you some money in your pocket where you can be tired at a ski lounge, or you can be tired in a massage bed, you know, in Jamaica, somewhere like that. That's when you get tired. But, you know, be about your business. And so on this note, hey, let's go ahead and get out of here. Let's go ahead and do some income producing activities. Income producing activities. Income and producing activity. Let the majority of your day be income producing activities, and working on your mind and your thinking, meditating, having great conversation. Income producing activities. Look on Facebook, not Facebook or YouTube, finding out how to set up a Zoom platform, finding out how to set your own StreamYard and your voice up. That's doing. Looking on Facebook and seeing two chicks go out there, slug it over, some skinny dude, or that's not income producing activity. No, that doesn't put any money in your pocket. Looking at people eating a whole bunch of jalapeno peppers, that don't get it. Looking at somebody, Pookie and Ray getting caught up in the house and having to jump out windows and all. That's not income producing activity. What is going to put wealth in your family? Learn how to start a Zoom channel. That's wealth. That's income producing activity. Picking up the phone and after you register your account and say, hey, listen, Mr. Fitzgerald, I'm registered. Show me what to do. Or Mr. Amir, I'm registered. Show me what to do. Okay. Picking up the phone. Hey, do you look for any other ways to make money? No. Yeah, great. Register someone in your business. That's going to help you. That's income producing activity. So, but reading good books that put things in your mind, like Get Off Your A and Cold Call. Some of you like, hey, I don't know how to sell. Well, our host is offering books like that. He's taking his sales experience and putting it into a book, and you can go ahead and read from his experience, and it will make you successful. And not to just go ahead and say something I'm not doing. Here's my copy right here. It's my copy. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been in sales and marketing, for darn near close to 30 years. My degree is in international advertising. My college degree from the University of Alabama. I do this, but still, I have to give myself the training, and so do you. Because if you're standing still, you're dying. That you only can be fresh when you're in motion. So we're here to help you. have nothing but respect for you guys, and we're going to talk about a lot of other financial issues. We're going to talk about a lot of things. But see, the reason we don't talk about of those things right now, well, we need to get the finances to show you where to park it. So we need to get that. But right now, this is we're committed to helping you guys grow your wealth. So on that note, much respect and appreciate all you guys. I'm glad when it stopped raining down here, man. It's looking like it's been flooding. And but we're in a hurricane, stuff like that. But you know what? More power to me. I can just pick up the phone and still do my wealth right from here, from home. And so my life is up to me, just as like your life is up to you. God bless each and every one of you. Prince Amir, thank you for hosting me on your having me on your channel, man. I never take that for granted. I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh man, I got to go on his channel again. It's an honor. It's a privilege. Dude, you build a platform of close to 80,000 subscribers, and you think enough of me to have me come on here to talk to your audience 6 days a week? Man, that's an honor. I don't take that for light. I mean, I don't take your friendship for granted, because I'm a big part of where I am in this business is because of the work that you've done, and you've been very successful at growing a very, very profitable team and a large team. And I was just a small piece. All I did was just open my mouth and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And because of that team, that team is part of my team, and the top growing of my team comes from your team. So I'm very appreciative. I'm very grateful, and far as like that, with you helping me taking care of my family, and I can help you leave a legacy for your son, and we can help each other, man. And because with Prince Amir and I, we used to primary, but knowing each other 2007 to now, that used to be the primary our conversation up to a year ago. Alabama and Georgia football. He's University of Georgia grad. I'm a University of Alabama grad. Neither one of them was sending us checks, but the way we was promoting it, you think they were.
They're not sending us check, but they're sending us letters to send them money to donate.
Yeah, you still get stuff for the Georgia Alumni Association
every day. Yeah. Donate.
Yeah, you donate, and so that used to be the nucleus of our conversation. You know what? And I would tell you guys that this thing has strengthened our friendship, but it hasn't. We already had a great friendship, and it was already strong. The thing with this, what it has done, we're working on each other's dynasty and wealth. And the thing I love about this dynasty, if I haven't told you, man, we get to talk a whole lot more than we used to. Right. There was sometimes Dynasty and I wouldn't talk for like a couple of weeks at times, maybe a month or something. Every day we're talking, and the conversation, man, how can we help? How can we make Deshaun build more wealth? How can we help this person? How can we help DeMarco to get behind this? What do we need to do to get behind Denise out there in Mississippi? What do we need to do, to get behind Keith or down in Trinidad? What do we need to build? How do we need to build their business? How do we need to push them? Or, how can we support them? Because we do that, because once we build them, it helps build us. And once you help build other people, it's going to help build your wealth. God bless you all. Stay dry, stay successful. Your life has meaning. Just go out and get it. Okay. And no, you do not have all the time in the world that you think you want. As a matter of fact, drop that statement out of your vocabulary as a right the heck now. I got plenty of time. It's all good. Take your time. I got plenty of time. It's all right. Oh, just go ahead and take your time. No problem. Yeah. Okay, you couldn't show up. You couldn't keep your appointment. You said with me. That's okay. We can do it another day. Learn to respect your time and learn how to have other people respect your time, because it's precious. You don't know how much you got. I mean, many people are sitting in the grave right now, and they're not aware of anything, but they thought they had time too. So when you get about the business of doing it now, get out the business of putting something together now. Of course, tomorrow's not promised to you. And in truth of the matter, you don't know how much time you have. You just don't know. I'm blessed with the gift of both sides of my family live long. And I'm talking about in the 80s and stuff. But that don't necessarily mean I will. So all you have is today. All you have is now. You know, but if for those of you talking, well, you know, I'll take about it and I'll wait a couple of months and I'll decide to go ahead and register my free account a couple of months. What's the guarantee you're going to be here? What's the guarantee you're going to be healthy? You know, act now. You know, build that dream now. Build that house now. Call someone and you know, call someone. Get these relationships straight now. You know, get about doing things that's building people up, building yourself. Read that book. Take that vacation. Let that person, you know, they know you love them. Let that person know you support them. Hey, call this up, call that cat up. You know, hey, dude, whatever we fell out about, man, listen, I don't care who was to blame. You know, I've been knowing you too long. They put it around, and let's just put it behind. Let's just move forward. You know, well, they won't forgive him. Well, at least you put it out there. No, that's not up for them to do. But let's get what the business now. Stop saying it's all right. We can do it another day. Or stop saying I got plenty of time. I got all the time in the world. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You do. All you have right now is now. Use that time to be great, to build something great, to lead something for the people who are dependent upon you. Where maybe, you know, maybe they could just have a little bit better life than what they would have if you wouldn't have put anything together. Dynas, on that note, man, I'm going to get ready to go because I have to do some income producing activities. No, you guys be blessed. We're here for you. We're here to serve you. Thank you. Bye.
All right, everybody. So my Karatbars affiliate links in the chat room. Again, it is in the chat room. Click on the affiliate link, sign up as an affiliate, and I will personally call you, and we'll get you guys up and running. With that being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining. And real quick, where is it? Let me grab it over here. Give me a second. Go and grab the book, new release. It's Libation Time, A Children's Guide to the Ancestors. Go and grab your copy on Amazon.com or go to DynastyMirror.com. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Again, Karatbars affiliate link is in the chat room. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen along with the ticker, and it's also in the description. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.